next thing I know, I don't want to say there was screaming inside there from my buddy, but he was pretty excited.
right.
And there he's like, "Hey,
Who wouldn't be?
let me out!" And he's banging on like the door. I'm like, "What? What happened?"
What traumatic
It
experience?
sounded like you were gonna die in there, you know?
That and more coming up on this episode of Unserious. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unserious. We have a bit of a change of venue. It's a little more vacationary, you could say, if that's a word. Not sure that's a word, but it is now. More of a cabin feel, so it's nice to kind of switch it up on everyone just a little bit here. So, for this episode, we are going to welcome the wonderful Kevin. They just don't want to stop clapping.
Sure they don't.
Constant applause. Thank you, Kevin, for deciding to be on the show.
You're certainly welcome.
Thank you for letting me convince you. Our feature town for this episode is Barkhamstead, Connecticut. Have you ever heard of Barkhamstead?
I have never heard
Most
of
people haven't. That's why they're getting a shout out. Hope things get better for you there. I hear life is a bit rough. So it's never a bad time for a terrible pun. So, Kevin, tell us 2 quick random things about you that you don't mind us knowing about, and of course, what animal you resonate the most with or love the most. I'm going to quick mention first that we are related. How are we related? Actually, we should probably go into that first, because I was thinking about that. We are cousins.
Yes, I believe.
But I think it's more specific than
yes,
that.
I believe technically we are second cousins twice removed.
I've always wondered, what does it mean to be removed?
I have no idea.
Are you taken away from the family and you find your way back? What is that?
So this, when I looked it up, it was probably 10 years ago or so. And so now, you can type in your phone and find that out.
That's
but back then, it was
a lot harder to do. So
for me, it's still hard to do. But,
We're related in some way, shape, or form. So 2 quick random things about you that you don't mind us knowing.
Random.
Could be anything. Could just be something you like.
So you wouldn't know it, but I play hockey.
There you go.
Not so random is I also golf. I like golf.
Not at the same time.
I haven't tried them at the same time, but that could be a new sport.
Could be onto something.
That would be worth exploring.
Hockey, golf. Yeah.
They actually say hockey players are generally good golfers.
I believe that.
So
I can see that.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it would be fun to combine the two. Really, because then you don't even need the golf cart at that point. Just skate over to where the ball is. That's fun. All right, so what animal do you feel like you resonate the most? We just talked about this the other day, which I think is funny. Totally randomly.
So I ended up getting the nickname, and again it sort of started with hockey.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the fastest skater in the world, and so my hockey buddies that they would tease me.
Yeah, well, that's what buddies are for.
How slow I am, and et cetera. And ultimately, I ended up getting the nickname the Sloth.
The Sloth.
So I'm out there slothing my way around the ice rink.
It's a verb now, slothing.
And it was kind of funny because my one buddy, I got the nickname the Sloth. And it was before sloths were like the thing.
Yeah.
And so I'd periodically get, some sloth shirt from him.
Yeah.
And he goes to the San Diego Zoo, and it was the slotherine. It was like
a
sloth, but it had the, things like
Slotherine. That's
like
interesting.
So it looked like it had the
like
fingers,
longer fingernails or something?
Yeah,
that's
like
interesting.
Knife fingers.
Yeah. Well, that sounds more dangerous.
Well, I am the sloth, so I became the slotherine for any time I wore the shirt.
You said right before sloths were like in.
Oh, and then it was like, it was probably within a year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Sloths were everywhere. So I think I take some credit for that.
So you were before your time.
Well, I was the start of
right.
the time.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. You started the trend.
I was the trend. Yeah.
Yes, trendsetter. That actually is going to play really well into our game coming up soon.
Uh-oh.
I'll do a little tease there. We're gonna set some more trends today. So the funny thing about the picture of the sloth, we were just talking about this the other day. We literally just randomly generated the sloth picture with the hat, smiling on a motorcycle on a golf course, and then they're perfectly fit for this. So, do you want to talk about the motorcycle? How the motorcycle is relevant?
So I'm a golfer. And I ended up meeting the guy on a golf course, and he's riding around on a golf bike.
Which, by the way, I've never heard of before. Before this.
And so he ended up having to move, and I bought the bike off of him. So it's
perfect timing.
I'm riding around the bike, and whenever I golf with a wide brim hat. So that's
blocks
one of those.
Sun.
You were like, hey, we could generate a picture, so here it is.
And that was perfect. See, there we go yet again, setting a trend.
There we go.
With the golf bike. And I'm going to put a picture right now of a golf bike right there so we can see what it is. If you're going to be on a golf course and driving around, I think it would be more fun than a golf cart, really. I mean, it looks like more fun. All right, so now it's time for a word for our sponsors from this episode. But we did something a little different for this one. We actually have a commercial that we filmed. So roll the tape.
Hi, I'm Anchor Dave. I'm here to help you.
Yes, you.
We all have ships in our lives that we're just tired of dealing with. Have you had enough of your ship? Maybe it's rusting or it's decaying. It doesn't matter. Either way, I can take it away and lighten your load. I'll sink that dinghy like it wasn't a thingy.
He's not kidding.
Believe me, there's not much I haven't done that I can't do. If it ain't sunk, I can sink it. We'll sink your battleship.
He can do it. I've seen it done. I'm his assistant, Bilge Pump Billy. Guess what my job is? Drag your craggly ships over to Anchor Dave's warehouse so he can sink them. Just north of Bermuda and south of the Triangle.
If there's no shipwreck to tour, we'll make one.
He can do it. He's Anchor Dave. It's in the name.
I'll sink your ex's canoe just to spite him.
He's not kidding. He sank my schooner. He sank my yacht. He sunk my paddle boat. He sunk my golf cart. He sank my anchor. He sank my Volkswagen. Unintentionally. He sank my goat. With Anchor Dave, nothing stays afloat. For long.
From bow to aft, we'll sink your raft.
Or that one. Wherever it is now, get your ship out of there and bring it here to
Anchor Dave's Shipwreck Services.
Anchor Dave and Anchor Dave Shipwreck Services are in no way liable for any damage caused to you, your boats, ships, vessels, or any other property during and after as a result of the sinking processes rendered by Anchor Dave. It is highly recommended that no living entity be present on a vessel at the time of sinking.
All right, well now it's time for our second sponsor.
But wait, there's more. I also sell insurance. No matter what state your farm is in, we can get it insured. No matter what services you need, call Anchor Dave. I even do weddings.
These sponsors,
Both said and shown in quotations, are not nor represent in any way, shape, or form actual sponsors, nor did any of the fake companies compensate anyone for anything because they don't exist.
So now we are to our games for today. We are going to try and make history today, somehow, some way. We are going to try to popularize, even though I don't know if that's a word, but it will be, hopefully now, a phrase that we're going to randomly come up with live on air. Except we're not actually live, so to speak, but we're going to randomly come up with it in a pre-recorded fashion and hope it catches on. So that brings us to our segment today, Fail on Purpose, in which we are actually going to play the game, Make a Phrase. It's like the Russian nesting doll of games. It's like a game within a game. So the goal of this game is to purposely fail, but that's how you win. So,
I should be good at this game.
Each of us has a card with several famous phrases written on it. I'll get the cards in a second. But there's a catch, as there usually is. there's a certain part of each phrase that has been taken out. The goal is to complete the phrase in a new and funny way that is not what the original phrase said. So, for example, if we have the phrase, don't count your chickens before they hatch, but before they hatch is taken out, you could say something like, don't count your chickens if you don't have any. Kind of would just be a waste of time. An apple a day keeps the grocer well employed. Every dog has its squirrel. If it ain't broke, don't break it. You know, you just throw something in there and you try and do something that's funny. This is a part 1 of a 2-part game. I'll explain the other in a minute. But throughout this whole thing, whoever has the winning phrase will draw a name out of a bowl of celebrity names, thus choosing a celebrity that we are going to tag on a specific post. We're going to tag this famous celebrity to see if we can get them to say the winning phrase for no other reason than just pure fun, except there is kind of also a reason. And of course, shamelessly to promote our show and attempt to cement this phrase into the mainstream verbiage and, of course, pop culture history. No big deal. The likelihood of them responding is highly unlikely, but not impossible. So we'll see. It's only impossible if you never make it happen. Follow your dreams, kids, but only if they're the good ones. So let's get into the game. I will get the cards, and we can get going. All right, so we have the officially branded cards, as you can see. Got to have the branding. All right, so we'll just go back and forth. So just complete it and try and say something funny that's different than the original. Once in a blue...
Wow. That's so ingrained. That is so ingrained.
Once in a blue, it could be anything. Literally anything. Doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, this is PG. Once in a blue lifetime.
Once in a blue lifetime. I could see that with being used. If you're having...
I can't.
Okay. If you're having a miserable life, just like, once in a blue lifetime. All right, hit one with, throw one at me.
All right, a penny saved is a penny
I don't have to spend.
Okay.
Could try that. I don't know if that makes any sense. If you save it, yeah, you don't have to spend it.
A penny saved is a penny.
I don't have to spend. Although the point is normally to spend money, but who uses pennies anymore, really?
I don't think you can use a penny anymore.
Can you? Let's ask our audience. Can you still use pennies?
I have pennies, but they're now in a penny jar.
Yeah. You could use the copper for something.
Probably.
You never know.
It is worth more than a penny.
I bet it is.
Yes.
I bet it is if you smelted it down. All right. So that's probably not legal.
No, it's not.
Don't be a penny smelter. No one is actually suggesting that you should melt pennies. It's not legal. If you didn't know that beforehand, well, hey, you learned something new today. All right. Be there or be...
round.
The opposite of what you're expecting.
Every cloud has a...
Every cloud has a puffy stomach. Doesn't make any sense. Every cloud has a puffy stomach. Sure. Let's go with, I don't have anything better.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. All right.
That's a hard one.
I know. I read it and I was...
Yeah. It takes a minute.
You know.
See, but I can edit out the time it takes you to think. So it'll be like, boom, we just have something right away.
I was thinking every cloud has a rainy day.
Yeah. That's a better one. Yeah.
It's up there waiting.
Even clouds have bad days.
It's ready to be a rainy day.
Even clouds have a way of releasing water.
Yes. Actions speak louder than
reactions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
didn't think too hard on that one.
I think you had time to think about this.
That one. I tried to not look at these beforehand, so I didn't have an advantage. Actions
speak louder than reactions.
I feel like that.
I don't know if it's true.
That's a deep one.
Yeah, but certainly
may or may not
could be true.
Yeah. As snug as a bug in a
jug.
That sounds like it would be that way originally.
No,
it is
not.
Are bugs comfortable in jugs?
No.
I would not be comfortable in a jug. So, I mean, you could still use the phrase because that would mean that you're uncomfortable.
Could be.
You know, yeah. You're as snug as a bug in... You look like right now you're as snug as a bug in a jug.
Yeah.
That means that you're super uncomfortable.
The apple doesn't fall far from the...
basket it fell out of.
Ooh.
They don't have to be good.
Yeah,
I guess I wasn't going for a win on that one.
just trying to get the response out there.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to wait for the right opportunity, and you're like, that's the one.
Rome wasn't built.
Rome wasn't built for people to look at it.
It's kind of deep.
It wasn't built for people to look at. I think in some ways it probably was, actually. That's a deep one.
It is.
It could be used somehow. Probably in the right context, it would make sense.
I was thinking, Rome wasn't built in a millennia.
Yeah.
Like,
There you go.
they.
You've already got it. You got an answer already. It's like,
Well, I was talking.
I think the better answer is this one.
I was talking to my sister who's over in Italy right now, and they said, they tour all the different cathedrals, and they said they're getting ready for the Olympics, and buildings aren't ready yet, and they're behind schedule, and they said we call those sorts of projects cathedrals, because they're never built in one lifetime. Like there's still
generational.
There's
thing.
still cathedrals from back in the Roman days that aren't done yet.
Well, think of how complex they were. Like one person, they could go their whole life working on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And their children could keep working on it. Who wouldn't want to be in Italy right now?
Yeah,
beautiful in Italy, from what I hear.
Yeah, so
from what I hear,
I've gotten a few pictures, and it looks fantastic.
Looks great.
Absolutely.
On the bucket list. On the bucket list. All right, so that's the first section of the game. So if there's not a phrase that we think is great out of that one, we're gonna still go anyway and do the second part.
It just may not get put on the air.
We'll see. It depends how it goes. All right, so logically, after fail on purpose, now we're going to succeed on accident.
Oh.
There you go.
More likely. All right.
More likely.
Yep.
Make up a saying that sounds like a well-known, profound, famous phrase by accidentally, in quotes, combining words from each of these two piles in your phrase. Again, this doesn't have to actually make sense, just has to sound like it does. There's two different bowls here. You got bowl 1 and bowl 2. You pick one from each. For example, if I took something out of here and I got chicken, and I took something out of here and I got waddle, I would say this is more about saying it confidently than it is about it actually being good. So you can go, well, that's one chicken that doesn't waddle. And there you go. And that's your phrase. You just somehow, and you can add as many other words as you want in there. You just have to include the two that you get there.
All right.
So you got one from both. What do you got?
One from both. I got parrot.
Ooh, parrot.
And soggy bread.
That's a hard combination there.
That's like a parrot eating soggy bread. Boom.
I should have just hit the button for the soundboard. There you go. That sounded good. It was good delivery too. All right, let's try one. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Mix it up a little bit. Mix it up. Okay. I have catch, and I have sketchy. That looks like a pretty sketchy catch to me. I didn't really get a big response on that. I'll try that. Well, I'd hate to catch something that sketchy.
Ooh.
That was any better? That's a hard. Those two words kind of go together well, though. I will say.
They do.
Sketchy catch.
Yep.
Catch sketchy. You just have to make it work, which I'm not so sure I did. Bowl 1 and bowl 2.
All right. And it doesn't have to be in order, right? Like
Nope.
Not in,
whatever you think is best.
not bowl 1 to bowl 2.
Bowl 1 to bowl 2. And this is the Super Bowl. We'll get to it in a minute.
Nebraska and dog. Dog.
That's a good one.
Nebraska.
That's a good one.
That poor dog grew up in Nebraska.
I feel bad for the dog.
You got it.
You can tell that's a dog from Nebraska.
There you go. That poor dog looks like it's from Nebraska.
It's good. I think that might be a top contender so far. I could see myself using that one.
Every week somebody from the team Nebraska's playing is going to be using that line.
There we go. That poor dog. I like that one. right, let's see what we got here. Leopard, and late or not on time. I can use either one of those. That was one leopard that was late to the kill.
It's going to be going hungry.
That's one hungry leopard. That's one leopard that missed the prey. That didn't include the second part of that, but
well,
we'll try. I gotta try. I'm picking up the first one. I do. It's always the best.
Oh, well, this one's turned over, but I got to use it anyways because it's pizza. And the other word is cabbage.
Pizza and
Ooh. That's as tasty as a cabbage pizza.
I like that one. I do like that one.
I mean, I like cabbage and I like pizza.
I
would be delicious.
I wouldn't like a cabbage pizza. That's just like saying, would you like some salad on your pizza? I don't know a lot of people that love cabbage.
Right.
They're really like, yeah, cabbage is my vegetable of choice.
Well, I wasn't trying to insinuate it looked good.
Yeah. No.
And
it could still taste good. I like that one. I don't think it would taste good.
That's right.
I don't. Yeah. It's about as good as a cabbage pizza. I like that one. All right, let's try this. Okay, mongoose and river. Well, that's about as buoyant as a mongoose floating down a river.
Do mongoose swim? They probably do.
They probably do.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to backpack off of another famous phrase here. You can lead a mongoose to a river, but you can't make him drown himself.
I was thinking swim across, but you can't make him swim across.
You can't make him swim across. I'm 0 for 2. You go. You're in better luck with these.
All right. Here we go.
Go for it. What you got?
Oh, gosh. We got ocean.
Okay.
And dental floss.
Okay. That's an interesting combination. That's not one I would generally think of to put together.
That looks pretty difficult. Be like swimming across an ocean of dental floss.
That's good.
That would be tough.
It would be tough.
You know?
It would be tough. It would be, yeah. You'd get all caught up and...
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing a better job of this. I feel terrible. Try it again. All right, we're almost through here. Okay. These are both like verbs. Throw and fall.
Wow. You got a tough one.
I could use fall in a couple different ways here. I'm having one of those days that if I don't fall, just throw me. Either way, I'm ended up on the floor.
I was thinking fall.
You've already got a better one.
Winter, spring, summer, fall. Like, let's just throw ourselves into fall.
Throw ourselves.
It's like skipping.
We just want to skip the summer.
Let's skip summer. Let's just throw ourselves into fall.
He's really getting the hang of this.
Oh, finally a game I'm getting the hang of. Oh my!
What do we got here?
I got a canyon.
Okay, everybody does.
And I got a waddle.
Ooh, that could be. There, we have potential here. I sense potential.
It sounds like you've got one in your mind that's going to be better than waddling through a canyon.
I wouldn't guess that based on how it's going so far.
Well, let's hear yours.
Okay. Waddling. You look like your canyon's waddling.
Waddle that canyon.
Waddle that canyon. There we go. We got something out of it. Sometimes it takes a minute. Okay. Yeah, these look like I saw both of these. So, ooh, this is a good one. I don't know if I can make it work, but it's a good one. Goose and waffle. Oof.
Goose.
You better be careful you don't step on that goose waffle. Watch where you step. You don't want to trip
that
on
sounds
that
messy.
Goose. That sounds messy. It does. Better watch out for those goose waffles. What do we got here? Is that it? That's it for this one. So we're out of this bowl. We got a couple more. You want to do one more?
Or do you have to
just
do
pick them both.
2 out of this?
Yeah, you might as well. We got a couple leftovers.
All right.
You do
enough for
one
one more.
and then we'll go with what we got for the segment.
Drown fence. Yeah. Can you drown a fence?
Fence is normally made out of wood. Wood normally floats. You're about as likely to do that as you are to drown a fence.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Make it work there. There
Well
you go.
done.
Redemption.
All right, there's enough for one more. There's
You want
2
one?
more
Oh,
cards.
go for
Oh,
it.
no, there's...
Yeah.
Here.
How many we got? Go for it.
These are
All right,
yours.
thank you. These are mine. Okay.
I'll think about these 2.
Oh, these are really good. This is really good. Again, I can't guarantee success, but we've got tree and lightning. Those feel like they fit. That's a good fit, but I want it to be something that's iconic.
Well, I was telling the story the other day, and they started laughing. They just lit up like lightning hitting a tree.
Lightning hitting a Christmas. Yeah, a Christmas tree.
Well, now it's a Christmas tree.
Now it's a Christmas tree. Well, I could say you're lit as a Christmas tree, but that's kind of already a saying. When I pick something, it's like you almost have a better idea than me, and then vice versa. All right, what you got?
Well, this one appropriate, right? The
Yeah.
last thing in here is
Last
Italy.
How about that? Not even
and-
planned.
And chicken.
Huh. That's some good options I could see from that one. Get my brain going on this one.
Like a chicken vacationing.
Needs some thinking music. Sorry, go ahead.
Like a chicken vacationing in Italy.
That tastes like an Italian chicken.
That could be.
Yeah,
It could be.
that is one Italian chicken.
Ooh.
I like that one.
That's a good looking Italian chicken. That's as good looking as an Italian chicken.
Better. Improved. Better. Like that one. So, now that the game is done, what was the best one out of that? I'm trying to remember.
I really do think it would be difficult to swim through an ocean of dental floss. That just seems...
What do we think could catch on?
That seems difficult.
You got goose waffle, you got cabbage pizza.
It doesn't sound good. Even if
No.
it was delicious, it just
Doesn't
doesn't
sound
sound good.
Do you want to just narrow it down? Oh gosh, it's too bad I can't have them vote on it. What if we do that? We just have the audience vote.
Have the audience vote?
We can just have a final 3, have the audience vote, and then we'll just go from that. Which one did you like? You like the dental floss one?
I like the ocean of dental floss.
Okay. So he's going with the ocean dental floss. I'm going to go, if I had to pick between the moose waffle and the dog, I'm going dog from Nebraska. Sorry, that's mine. So my pick, dog from Nebraska. Your pick, dental floss, ocean of dental floss.
Ocean of dental floss.
And then we've got the cabbage pizza. Are we good with that? I like that idea. So why don't you do the honors of picking the celebrity randomly? You want to shake it up a little bit? You want to, whatever you want to do to try and pick that out there. We've got a couple different interesting assortment of celebrities here.
This is a good one.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
We got Chris Pratt, everybody. Chris Pratt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a very good one.
I like
All right, Chris. Get ready. Get ready to talk about some Nebraskan dogs, hopefully. Or cabbage pizza or dental floss. Oceans.
Or swimming through an ocean of dental floss.
We'll see. Again, Chris, you will get tagged on the post, and we hope you respond. We're very excited for how this turns out.
Vote now, right here on our YouTube channel, for which phrase you'd like to hear Chris Pratt cement into mainstream culture. Potentially. Who knows if he'll actually respond to this or not, but you never know. We'll just have to tag him in a post and see what happens. Vote for A, as sad as a dog from Nebraska. Example, my friend just lost his championship hockey game. He's as sad as a dog from Nebraska. B, swimming through an ocean of dental floss. Example, you'd have better luck swimming through an ocean of dental floss than trying to get your entire family to agree on the same restaurant for dinner. Or C, looks as tasty as a cabbage pizza. Example, that slimy lasagna your grandmother made looks as tasty as a cabbage pizza. Right here on our YouTube channel at Sound Unserious, just click on the Posts tab and make your voice heard. You only have 24 hours before the poll expires as of today, June 17, 2026. So vote now! And then finish watching the rest of this episode, of course. There's an unbelievable true story coming up you are not going to want to miss.
That brings us to our final segment of the day. Campfire stories.
Campfire stories. In places fire, shouldn't be.
We're going to talk about some stories that don't seem like they would be true, but actually are. And what better way to do that than around the campfire? Now, because we are indoors, it's probably not the safest thing to light an actual campfire. So we're going to use our imaginations here and probably a little bit of CGI imagery. And I'm going to put a fire. So I'm going to oh, here we go. Start the fire. Look at how quickly I did that. So we've got a little CGI fire going here. And we're going to use our imaginations and pretend that we have marshmallows. There's less calories this way. Oof. It's the healthier option. It's the invisible marshmallow. So we're going to be roasting invisible marshmallows. There's also no way to burn them.
I was going to say, you're going to have that fly down.
Oh! Oh, it dropped. Okay, so campfire stories. So I'm sure you've got at least one really good story that our audience probably would not believe is true, but actually is, because you've lived it.
Well, I tell you, I was just reminded of a story just the other day. I got a text from a friend who's running around Greece, apparently. And
you've got a lot of world traveling friends.
I do.
And family.
And family, oddly enough. And so, they sent me a text that said, didn't you just tell me a story about porta potties?
This is a great setup already.
It wasn't just, but I did, in fact, tell them about porta potties, because it was a few years back. I went over. I actually had a work thing over in Finland, but we, as part of that, we went over early.
Okay.
And a friend of mine and I that I work with, and we went to Paris, and so yes, lots of things to do in Paris. And what was interesting was they have porta potties, and these are like public restrooms, and they're fabulous. Like they are self-cleaning.
Self-cleaning porta potties.
Oh yeah, you go into this porta potty, a person uses it, they come out, it self-cleans, the next person gets to go in. It's
That's crazy.
It's like a sophisticated porta potty. So we go over to Paris, right? And day one, we decided, hey, we'll walk around a little bit, and you can see the Eiffel Tower. So we're like, hey, we'll head over to the Eiffel Tower. So we go walk over to the Eiffel Tower, and it's a nice day, and we're gonna been there, I don't know how many hours, a while, right? And then we're gonna jump on the tram, run back to the hotel.
You've been there just long enough to feel a certain urge.
Right. So before we jump on the tram, we'll use the restroom. So we go over to this restroom, and there's an old lady. She was older than me by a few years, and so she's outside, and she said, well, my friend is in there right now. Yeah. She'll be done in just a second. So we're standing there, and my buddy's he's got to pee pretty bad. So he's like, hey, you mind if I go first? I'm like, no, I'm good. And so the old lady comes out, and she says, and the door closes, and it starts its it's cleaning
process.
She says, there's just a little bit of water on the floor, but it's not too deep, not that big deal. And so it finishes its cleaning cycle. A little light comes on. Hey, you can use it now. And so my buddy goes in, and the two old ladies, they leave, right? And next thing I know, I don't want to say there was screaming inside there from my buddy, but he was pretty excited.
Right.
And there he's like, hey,
who wouldn't be?
Let me out. And he's banging on like the door to get out. And I'm like, hey, there's a button you got to push. And he's banging on the door trying to get out. And I was like, there's a button. You got to push the button next to the door. Yeah. And so finally he pushes the button next to the door, and he's like, oh my God. And the door closes and starts cleaning cycle. And he's like, man, don't go in there. Like, don't go in there. And I'm like, but I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Like, don't pee in there.
That's not the face you want to have walking out.
No. He's panicking. And I'm like, man, what
went on in there?
So we start walking, trying to go to a different porta potty, and I'm like, what happened? It sounded like you were gonna die in there, I mean, he was banging on the door, and he's like, well, I'm standing there peeing, and I see something move sort of by the sink, right?
Really?
And this turd comes floating towards me. It was plugged, and so every time it went through a clean cycle, it was just dumping the toilet onto the floor of this porta potty. And so he had been staying. He's like, I gotta throw away these shoes. Like I mean.
You gotta love a good poop story.
Yeah, and so I don't even remember what I did to use the restroom. Like, we must have found a different restroom somewhere. I don't. Yeah. Maybe I didn't go till I got back to the hotel.
There's a big river near there,
like I couldn't stop laughing about like just the visual of him and this poop coming out and chasing him, and him trying to get out, like trying to smash through the door.
The poop is chasing me. You know what that reminds me of? There's a Tool Time episode from Home Improvement episode. There's a Tool Time segment where they had the self-washing kitchen, I think. It was. Yeah. So, Tim the Toolman Taylor or whatever, they're like, oh, it's perfect. It cleans itself. Just wait. And the door's shut. And then Al gets left in there. And so he's banging on the door, help, help. And so that's what that reminds me of.
Well, that's really the second part of the Paris story, really. But we'll get to that in a second. So, but I just can't stop laughing, right?
No.
And I'm teasing him and, hey, what are you going to do without shoes? How are you going to walk around Paris without shoes? And it just goes on. And that evening, I'm in using the restroom, right? Yeah. I just start laughing, thinking about, and he's out there. He's just like, quit laughing. It's not. It wasn't funny.
I think it's funny.
I was like, I just had that thought, like, that old lady, she set you up, like
she did.
That was old lady poop.
Yeah. That makes it even worse. Go on in here. You're good to go. She's like,
she left that just for. The water's not too deep. Don't worry about it. She set you up for that one. Like, I just couldn't help laughing. So
that's funny.
But that's part one. This is part two. This is part two story.
Part number two.
This is part two. Well, I guess that was part number two. Part one. Now part one. So now we'll get to part one of the story. So, we toured around Paris, and every once in a while I'd say, hey, there's a porta potty.
Freak him out a little bit.
I don't know if he used a porta potty the next day. Like, we'd stop at a restaurant, get a little something. He'd go use the restroom. So, but a couple days later, we're back at the Eiffel Tower. So this day we take the tour of the Eiffel Tower. We go up, do the touristy thing. And then we're on the way back, and again we're going to catch the subway, tram, whatever they call them over there in Paris. So, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to use the restroom, before we go. Right. And there's kind of a line, at this particular restroom, but that's okay, So we're standing there, and then it goes into like a special cleaning mode, like every once a day. It goes into an extra long, an extra long cleaning cycle, and so the line's pretty long, and then like most of the people, because it goes into the cleaning cycle, they're not going to wait, so half the line leaves, right? And so there's a guy, standing there. There's my buddy. Yeah. There's me, and then a couple people behind us, and right when that's going through its cleaning cycle, it takes like 10 minutes or something crazy, right? Somebody comes along and starts a shell game, like you'd have an artist playing the guitar. Well, this person was doing a shell, and it was
like
literally turtle shells, and you put a ball underneath. Okay, guess which one.
Okay, yeah.
And when we got up there, there was a young girl in line. And she walked away when it went into the cleaning cycle. Well, she comes back to the turtle shell game, right? And then she participates, and the guy in line in front, he's like, oh, she's part of this. Like, this is like one of those scams. They're working together, like, so we're watching them do this scam, and, the shell, playing the shell game. And so the light goes off, first guy in line, he goes in, right?
Yeah.
We're watching the shell game, like it was fascinating.
Yeah, you're
watching
focused on that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that guy comes out, then my buddy goes in, and I'm watching the shell game, and then
again.
Well, this is slightly different. This is part one.
Part one.
So my buddy comes out, and he's like, "We gotta go," and he starts walking down the side. I'm like, "Hey, dude, I gotta go now. Like we've been there 20 minutes or whatever, Like so I go in, it finishes clean a cycle. I go in, and I come back out, and I'm like, what's your deal, man? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. And he starts walking down the sidewalk, and he's squishing, leaving wet footprints with every step. And I'm like, what? What happened to you? What? He's like, I went through the wash cycle.
There goes another pair of shoes.
No, the same shoes. Now they're sanitized. He didn't have to get rid of them anymore. Somebody was taking, but we were so distracted by that turtle shell.
He got stuck in the wash cycle.
He didn't wait for the wash cycle, and he walked in, and he's like, yeah, I went through the wash cycle. He's like, and I looked at him like there's no water on the front of him.
No.
But he's soaked mid-thigh down to his shoes, and literally every step was like a little puddle.
Oh no, squish.
He's like, I was standing there, and I'm peeing, and all of a sudden, the toilet starts folding up into the wall, and he's like, I'm midstream. I don't know what to do.
The toilet left me.
It just folded up into and then there's this strange noise, like, and he's like, what in the world is that?
Yeah, I'd be afraid too.
It's the cleaning cycle. It sprayed down the entire back of my legs, and it doesn't clean once.
No,
it cleans
multiple
twice.
Extra clean.
He was soaked, literally the back of his legs all the way down to his shoes. He left a trail of squish footsteps all the way to
He's got he's gonna have this porta potty trauma.
Yeah. So when you're in Paris.
When in Paris.
Do as the Parisians do. Wait for the wash cycle.
That's a great. I do not have a story that can beat that one. I think we're gonna cut it.
But it's
there.
true. That was a true story.
True story.
Might be unbelievable.
True story. Might be unbelievable.
True story.
But actually true. I think that's a great place to wrap it up. So let's enjoy our invisible marshmallows.
Delicious!
Our
Thank you.
which definitely.
Thank you.
Are perfectly cooked by now. That's about as tasty as a cabbage pizza. I would say. A little callback for everyone. All right, everybody, that's our show. Thanks to all the people that deserve thanking. Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you, obviously, Kevin, for being on the show. Applause. And they're going to get louder again. So, yes, thank you, Kevin, for being here. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Good night, America. And unless you're not in America, depending on where you live, it could be good morning. Could be good morning. You could be in Italy. You could be in Paris.
Good morning, non-America.
If we're releasing this at night, then good evening.
Applause for Unserious.
The perfect podcast to listen to when your boat needs to drop an anchor.
But wait, there's more. I also own a pizzeria, Anchor Dave's Pizza, where the pizzas are all as good as they sound.
Classic cabbage, vegan meat, PB and jellyfish, skunk chunks.
Doesn't that sound delicious?
Wow! But wait! I guess that's it.
Listen, watch, and follow us on socials at Sound Unserious. Also, like, share, and subscribe or follow if you're in a helpful mood and want to add some steam to the humor train. Whoop, whoop. Always appreciated. Thanks for taking time to laugh with us today.